Is this what being a billionaire looks like? Some live like trillionaires, spending beyond yachts and security. Get ready for the wildest luxuries on Earth. Most billionaires own luxurious mansions. Mukesh Ambani took it to another level. He didn't just build a house, he built Antilia, a 27-story, $2 billion skyscraper mansion towering over Mumbai. It's one of the most expensive private residences ever created. This isn't just a massive home, it's a vertical kingdom filled with extravagance. Antilia has 600 full-time staff just to keep things running smoothly. The house is packed with 3 helipads, a multi-story garage that holds 168 cars, a ballroom, a private movie theater, multiple swimming pools, and even an ice room that blows out artificial snow when Mumbai's heat gets too much. Ambani didn't cut corners on materials either. The floors and walls are lined with rare marble, crystal chandeliers, and handcrafted luxury finishes that most people will never see in their lifetime. The entire structure is built to withstand earthquakes of up to magnitude 8, just in case Mother Nature tries to shake things up. What's even crazier is that some parts of the mansion are still barely used. Despite all the space, Mukesh Ambani and his family reportedly spend most of their time on just a few floors. The rest of the mansion? It's more of a statement piece, a towering symbol of extreme wealth. Looking down on one of the most densely populated cities in the world. Ambani doesn't stop at real estate. His car collection includes a $1.8 million Rolls-Royce Cullinan covered in gold, and when he needs to fly, he does it in a custom Boeing business jet worth $73 million, featuring an executive lounge and a boardroom in the sky. A billionaire's home is usually a reflection of their wealth. Ambani's home? It's a skyscraper-sized declaration that there are simply no limits when you have enough money. Some billionaires collect cars, yachts, or mansions. Elon Musk collects companies, and he doesn't just buy them, he reshapes entire industries in the process. Most CEOs struggle to run one business. Musk has juggled Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, The Boring Company, and Twitter, now X, like they're part of some high-stakes hobby. His $44 billion Twitter takeover was probably the most chaotic billionaire purchase in history. Within weeks, he fired top executives, changed company policies overnight, and removed the blue check marks people had been paying for, only to later sell them back for a fee. Musk didn't just buy Twitter, he turned it into his personal playground, making dramatic changes based on polls he ran on the platform itself. But Twitter is just one of many toys in his collection. SpaceX has raked in billions in government contracts, Tesla is one of the most valuable car companies on Earth, and Neuralink is working on brain implants straight out of sci-fi. If a business has the potential to shake up the world, Musk wants his name on it. He even started The Boring Company, a tunnel-digging firm, because he was annoyed by traffic. Then he sold $10 million worth of flamethrowers under the same brand, just for fun. And just when people think they've figured him out, Musk makes another move that no one saw coming. Buying Twitter was wild, but what about an entire country? Because if there's one billionaire who could probably do it, it's Musk. And speaking of outrageous collections, there's a billionaire who doesn't care about buying companies or social media platforms, he just wants every single luxury car ever made. Most car collectors have a few prized possessions. The Sultan of Brunei has over 7,000. His fleet is so massive, entire warehouses are dedicated just to storing his vehicles. This isn't just about expensive taste, he owns the rarest, most exclusive cars ever built, many of which were custom-made just for him. He has 600 Rolls-Royces, 450 Ferraris, and 380 Bentleys. That's more Rolls-Royces than some countries have on their roads. Some of his cars are one-of-a-kind models, built to his exact specifications. Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Bugatti have all made special edition cars exclusively for the Sultan and his family, models that the public has never even seen. The collection is worth an estimated $5 billion, but here's the catch. Many of these cars just sit there, untouched. Some haven't been driven in decades. There are rumors that entire sections of the collection have fallen into disrepair, with dust-covered exotics and multi-million-dollar vehicles just rotting away in storage. But even if the cars never leave their garages, the Sultan's spending spree never really stops. His private jets? They're coated in gold. His palaces? He has over 1,700 of them. The man doesn't just buy luxury, he hoards it. And while his kingdom is filled with treasures, there's another billionaire who isn't interested in collecting things on Earth at all. Most billionaires are obsessed with luxury. Jeff Bezos is obsessed with leaving Earth. While others collect cars or yachts, Bezos is pouring billions into making space travel a reality, for himself first and then maybe for the rest of us. His space company Blue Origin has already taken him and a few hand-picked guests on joyrides past the edge of Earth. But that's just the beginning. Bezos wants more than quick trips to space. He wants to build floating colonies where millions of people can live, claiming that Earth should be preserved for tourism, while industry and manufacturing move into orbit. The scale of his space ambitions is as massive as his fortune. Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket system cost over $5 billion to develop, and that's just a stepping stone. Bezos has sunk tens of billions into designing New Glenn, a much larger rocket aimed at carrying heavy payloads and even people beyond Earth's orbit. And this isn't a side project. He's been selling off billions in Amazon stock every year to keep funding it. His personal expenses aren't much different from his space ambitions. Always bigger, always more excessive. His $500 million mega yacht is so enormous it needed a Dutch bridge to be dismantled just to leave the shipyard. His Washington mansion spans 27,000 square feet and includes 25 bathrooms. Because apparently, a billionaire needs more restrooms than some hotels. For Bezos, Earth isn't enough. While most billionaires spend money making their lives more comfortable here, he's spending billions to make sure he can leave whenever he wants. But while Bezos is reaching for the stars, there's another billionaire whose interests are much more down to earth, literally. His obsession, owning the most valuable paintings in existence. Some people buy art because they love it. Bernard Arnault buys art because he can buy almost anything. The CEO of LVMH, the company behind Louis Vuitton, Dior, Moet and Chandon, and dozens of other luxury brands, isn't just the richest man in fashion. He's also one of the biggest art collectors on the planet. His personal collection is a who's who of legendary artists. Arnault owns paintings from Picasso, Warhol, Basquiat, Monet, and countless other masters, some of which are worth hundreds of millions of dollars each. But for him, collecting isn't enough. He wanted his own museum, so he built one. The Louis Vuitton Foundation, a $143 million glass and steel architectural marvel in Paris, was created just to showcase his massive collection. It's part museum, part personal vault, filled with works so rare and expensive that some art historians worry they may never be publicly displayed again. And his spending doesn't stop with art. His private jet was so frequently tracked by social media that he sold it just to stop people from knowing where he was going. His Paris mansion, rumored to be worth over $200 million, is decorated with priceless sculptures and rare antiques. Arnault isn't just a billionaire with expensive taste, he's reshaping the very definition of luxury itself. For him, the ultimate power move isn't just buying rare art, it's controlling the entire luxury industry. Most billionaires buy luxury estates. Richard Branson bought an entire island. When you have more money than you can spend in a lifetime, privacy becomes the ultimate luxury. And for Branson, that meant owning a 74-acre tropical paradise in the Caribbean. His Necker Island, purchased for a laughable $180,000 in 1978, has been transformed into a billionaire's dream retreat. This isn't just a vacation home, it's a 5-star resort, where guests can stay for a mere $134,000 per night. The island has white sand beaches, infinity pools, tennis courts, and even a personal submarine for exploring the crystal-clear waters. Branson, the founder of Virgin Group, doesn't just use Necker Island for relaxing. He hosts exclusive gatherings where the world's richest and most powerful discuss business, politics, and whatever else billionaires talk about while sipping champagne on private beaches. Everyone from Barack Obama to Princess Diana to Elon Musk has visited. When Hurricane Irma destroyed most of the island's structures in 2017, Branson didn't blink. He immediately poured millions into rebuilding it, making it even more luxurious than before. And despite owning a literal island, his spending doesn't stop there. His space company, Virgin Galactic, is working on commercial space flights, and his private jet collection is worth tens of millions. For Branson, wealth isn't just about making money, it's about living life like a permanent vacation. While most billionaires fight for power and influence, he's out there kite surfing on his private beach, proving that money really can buy happiness, if you buy the whole island with it. Some billionaires spend money on yachts. Clive Palmer wants to rebuild one of the most famous ships in history. The Australian mining tycoon announced his $500 million plan to construct Titanic II, a modern replica of the doomed ocean liner, designed to be as close to the original as possible, down to the wood-paneled suites, grand staircase, and even a strict class system for passengers. Palmer claims his version of the Titanic will be unsinkable, thanks to modern technology and reinforced construction. But even with safety upgrades, the idea of recreating a ship that famously sank in the North Atlantic doesn't exactly scream good investment. That hasn't stopped Palmer though. He's poured millions into the project, hiring some of the world's top engineers and shipbuilders to bring his vision to life. But Palmer doesn't just throw money at ambitious projects. He throws money at anything that amuses him. He once built a theme park featuring life-sized robotic dinosaurs just because he thought it would be fun. His mansion is filled with golden furniture, and his car collection includes a Rolls-Royce Phantom and a fleet of classic muscle cars. Titanic 2 has had its share of delays, but Palmer insists it will set sail with the same 1912 style luxury and elegance, only this time with modern safety features, satellite navigation, and plenty of lifeboats. Whether it becomes a floating masterpiece or an expensive joke, one thing is certain: Clive Palmer has the money to make even the craziest ideas real. And if you think that's over the top, wait until you hear about a billionaire who doesn't just spend on projects, he spends like money doesn't exist. Some billionaires invest, but Floyd Mayweather burns money like it's going out of style. The undefeated boxing champion has earned over $1.2 billion in his career, and he's spent it with zero hesitation. Mayweather doesn't just own expensive things, he collects them in multiples. He has 3 private jets, at least 5 multi-million-dollar mansions, and over 100 luxury cars, including Rolls-Royces, Bugattis, and a fleet of custom Lamborghinis. And when he buys a car, he doesn't get just one, he buys entire sets, like a matching lineup of white, black, and silver Rolls-Royces. Cash is his favorite accessory. He carries backpacks filled with millions of dollars, throws $100,000 betting slips on Instagram like they're receipts, and once walked into a jewelry store and dropped $18 million on a single diamond watch. His spending is so outlandish that even other billionaires are stunned. When he travels, he doesn't do normal luxury. He books entire hotels for himself, fills them with personal security, and spends nights at clubs tossing tens of thousands in the air just for fun. He once spent $7 million on a single shopping spree and has $10 million worth of watches, all packed in a briefcase just in case he gets bored of one. Mayweather's nickname is money for a reason. He doesn't invest like Warren Buffett or build companies like Jeff Bezos, he just spends. Fast, flashy, and without a second thought. And in a world of billionaires who plan for the future, he's proof that some people just want to live like every day is their last and do it in style. Most billionaires spend on luxury. Mark Zuckerberg spends on secrecy. The Facebook founder has poured hundreds of millions into ensuring no one knows too much about where he lives, what he does, or who gets too close to him. His obsession with privacy is almost ironic, given that he built the world's most invasive social media platform. Zuckerberg's biggest project, a secretive, high-security fortress in Hawaii. He has spent over $100 million buying up 1,500 acres of prime land on the island of Kauai, slowly acquiring more plots and fencing them off. Locals aren't happy, and lawsuits have been filed over his land grabs, but Zuckerberg has one goal: total isolation. And it's not just Hawaii. His main home in Palo Alto looks normal from the outside, but beneath it is a massive underground bunker. He spent $23 million buying up all the houses around it just to tear them down and make sure no one could see inside. His San Francisco estate? It has a $10 million security system and secret escape routes. Even his security team, which costs $27 million per year, is trained to evacuate him in case of a threat. When Zuckerberg travels, he takes privacy to a new level. His private jet expenses cost Meta over $2 million a year, and his security detail is one of the most expensive among billionaires. He even built an AI-powered system in his homes to control everything from lights to temperature, just so no one else has access. Zuckerberg isn't interested in collecting yachts or rare cars. He's interested in building digital empires and physical fortresses, places where no one can reach him unless he allows it. And while he's isolating himself from the world, another billionaire went in the opposite direction, buying an entire island and turning it into his personal kingdom. Most billionaires buy beachfront mansions. Larry Ellison bought an entire Hawaiian island. The co-founder of Oracle and one of the richest tech tycoons on Earth spent $300 million to purchase 98% of Lanai, a pristine 140-square-mile paradise in Hawaii. And this isn't just a vacation home. Ellison is rebuilding the entire island to his own vision. Since buying Lanai, he has spent hundreds of millions turning it into a luxury escape for the ultra-rich. The island now boasts a world-class resort, organic farms, a solar-powered desalination plant, and an experimental wellness retreat. Residents? Only about 3,000 people live there, and Ellison controls nearly everything, from real estate to utilities. If you live on Lanai, you're basically living in Ellison's personal project. His private residence isn't just a mansion, it's a Japanese-style estate with waterfalls, koi ponds, and acres of zen gardens. And when he wants to leave, he does it in one of his dozens of private jets, helicopters, or his fleet of luxury yachts, including the Musashi, a $160 million super yacht. Ellison doesn't just own things, he owns entire environments. While most billionaires are fighting for properties in Malibu or Monaco, he's turned a whole island into his personal utopia. Some billionaires hoard wealth, some build bunkers, and others turn nature into their playground. But Ellison? He's literally creating his own version of paradise. Some billionaires throw money at luxuries. Howard Hughes threw money at avoiding people. The eccentric billionaire, once a daring aviator and Hollywood tycoon, became a paranoid recluse, spending his final years locked away in hotel rooms that he rented out entirely for himself. In 1966, Hughes took over the top 2 floors of the Desert Inn in Las Vegas, refusing to leave. At first, the hotel tolerated him, thinking he'd be a high-paying guest. But when management tried to evict him, he did what only a billionaire could do. He bought the entire hotel. From that moment on, Hughes ran the Desert Inn as his personal isolation chamber. His demands were legendary. He refused to let sunlight into his suite, had his meals delivered in specific packaging, and would go months without speaking to anyone face to face. His hair and nails grew wildly out of control, and some reports claim he would stay awake for days at a time, watching the same movies on repeat. At the height of his paranoia, Hughes moved between luxury hotels under total secrecy, using private jets to avoid human contact. He spent his last years locked away in a penthouse in Mexico, refusing medical care and speaking only through notes. By the time of his death in 1976, the once daring billionaire had become a ghost in his own world, hidden behind the walls of the palaces he had bought. While most billionaires flaunt their wealth, Hughes did the opposite. He used his money to disappear. Most billionaires enjoy first-class travel. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal turned a commercial airliner into his personal palace. The Saudi royal and investment tycoon ordered a custom Airbus A380, normally a 600-passenger plane, to be transformed into a flying mansion, costing an estimated $500 million. This wasn't just any private jet. It had a golden throne, a spiral staircase, a concert hall, a full spa, and even a garage for his Rolls-Royce. It was the most expensive private aircraft in the world, a flying symbol of excess. But even for a billionaire like Al-Walid, this was too much. Before the modifications were completed, he reportedly sold the jet at a profit. Because when you can afford a fleet of private planes, what's one more? His luxury addiction doesn't stop at the sky. His car collection includes more than 300 exotic vehicles, from diamond-studded Rolls-Royces to custom-made Bentleys. His yacht? A $200 million super yacht that looks more like a floating 5-star hotel. His homes? Palaces stacked with gold, priceless art, and some of the most extravagant furniture ever crafted. Al-Walid has spent hundreds of millions on 5-star hotels, including stakes in the Four Seasons, the George V in Paris, and the Savoy in London. When he travels, he doesn't just book a suite, he buys entire floors. And when he needs to unwind, he does it on his own private 500-acre resort outside Riyadh. For Al-Walid, luxury isn't just about spending, it's about owning the best of everything, everywhere. But even his wealth, as staggering as it is, pales in comparison to another Saudi royal. Because when it comes to billionaire spending on a ridiculous scale, no one does it quite like Mohammed bin Salman. Most billionaires indulge in extravagant hobbies. Mohammed bin Salman buys the most expensive things on earth just because he can. The Saudi crown prince, also known as MBS, doesn't do anything small. His spending habits make even other billionaires look modest. In 2015, he quietly dropped $450 million on Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi, the most expensive painting ever sold. But instead of proudly displaying it, he allegedly keeps it hidden on his private yacht. Speaking of yachts, his floating palace, the Serene, cost $500 million and includes 2 helipads, a massive indoor pool, and its own submarine. Real estate? He owns the $300 million Chateau Louis XIV in France. An estate so extravagant it comes with gold-leafed fountains, a wine cellar fit for a king, and a moat straight out of a medieval fantasy. When he's not enjoying his French palace, he has countless luxury properties across the world from London to Los Angeles. And then there's his supercar collection, packed with rare Bugattis, Lamborghinis and Rolls-Royces, all customized to royal perfection. His private jets are rumored to have solid gold seatbelt buckles. But MBS isn't just about collecting wealth. He's reshaping Saudi Arabia itself, pouring $500 billion into a futuristic desert megacity called Neom, complete with flying taxis, AI-controlled infrastructure, and a fully digital economy. For most billionaires, spending on this level would be impossible. But when you control one of the richest nations on earth, money is just a number. And for Mohammed bin Salman, there's no limit to how much he's willing to spend to create a world that matches his vision. That's about it. Write in the comments about your most expensive purchase.